This broadcast is for April 21st, 2026, Japan time. Welcome to Samurai MLB Talk. Thank you very much for watching. This channel is a place where we explore the essence of humanity through the lens of baseball, through the way we watch the game, the spirit behind it, and the philosophy it reflects from a uniquely Japanese perspective. To our viewers in the English-speaking world, I truly hope you'll enjoy this dialogue about human nature as seen through the game of baseball. Your support means more than I can say. If you enjoy this content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Part 1, Highlights of Japanese Athletes. Masataka Yoshida of the Red Sox made his first start in 4 games as the number 4 designated hitter against the Tigers. The team secured an 8-6 victory. Yoshida finished the game with 2 hits and 1 walk. Regarding Yoshida, it feels as though the coaching staff and the front office do not view him as a core daily player. I get the impression they believe it is sufficient to start him occasionally and use him primarily as a pinch hitter otherwise. It is unfortunate, but there is no denying the fact that he struggled during the period when expectations for him were at their highest. Yoshida has finally acclimated to MLB and is mastering how to showcase his style of hitting. But to the Red Sox leadership, he likely appears to be a player who does not hit consistently enough. In today's game, he was in the starting lineup and produced solid results, which was excellent to see. Ultimately, Yoshida produces results whenever he steps into the batter's box. He has no choice but to continue proving himself in this manner. Kazuma Okamoto of the Blue Jays started as the number 5 third baseman against the Angels. The team won with a score of 5-2. Okamoto had no hits but recorded 1 walk. While he had an outstanding performance in the previous game, he was held hitless today. However, subtle changes were visible in his plate appearances. He showed an aggressive approach toward pitches in the strike zone, and even if it wasn't the specific pitch he was looking for, he was swinging with full authority if he felt he could drive it. From a long-term perspective, this is a very positive trend. Once Kazuma Okamoto fully adjusts to the team environment and the overall atmosphere of MLB, I believe he will showcase a brilliance that differs slightly from that of Munetaka Murakami. He also showed good form on defense. I feel Okamoto simply needs more time to get comfortable. In NPB, Okamoto and Munetaka Murakami fought in the same league as the centerpieces of the Yomiuri Giants and Yakult Swallows, respectively. It is the wish of Japanese fans to see these next-generation Japanese sluggers, who sharpened their skills against each other, succeed in the same way on the MLB stage. While Munetaka Murakami is demonstrating his true strength, I hope Okamoto will also show his magnificent hitting without falling behind. Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers started as the number 1 designated hitter against the Rockies. The team won 12-3. Ohtani finished with 1 hit, 2 walks, and 1 stolen base. I will discuss the details later. Seiya Suzuki of the Cubs entered the game against the Phillies as a pinch hitter. The team won 5-1. Seiya Suzuki had no hits but recorded 1 walk. It was disappointing to see Seiya Suzuki left out of the starting lineup, but I suspect there might have been some fatigue involved. Although he went hitless coming off the bench, the fact that he drew a walk speaks volumes about his excellent plate discipline. I truly hope to see him back in the starting lineup showcasing his powerful hitting from the next game onward. Part 2, Roki Sasaki is still developing. Roki Sasaki, who started in the recent game against the Rockies, was unable to finish 5 innings, coming out after 4 2/3 innings. However, navigating through the early stages from the first to the 3rd inning and then returning to the mound to pitch into the middle stages and reaching the 5th inning is proof of his growth. With every appearance on the mound, he is showing us that he is evolving step by step. There is talk that Blake Snell will return in late May, and it is being said that Roki Sasaki will be removed from the starting rotation. I believe that will likely be the case. However, I think he will remain on the roster through a role change, perhaps moving to middle relief or as a closer. Furthermore, since a starting rotation is rarely healthy throughout the entire season, Sasaki would likely return to the rotation should any injuries occur among the starters. While Roki Sasaki wishes to succeed as a starter, he is currently not in a position to choose his role. Therefore, it is crucial for him to fulfill his duties effectively wherever he is placed. Above all, Sasaki's current challenge is to improve the quality of his fastball and his splitter. Given his natural talent, hitters should not be able to hit home runs off his fastball so easily. As for his splitter, if he executes it perfectly, there is no way hitters could drive it back with such ease. In the recent game against the Rockies, his fastball was hit for a home run, and there were moments where his splitter was also hit hard. After the game, he himself identified the quality of his fastball and splitter as issues and vowed to improve them. Roki Sasaki is still developing. He is growing slowly but surely. All we can do is warmly watch over him as he evolves into a legendary pitcher. Additionally, on April 21, Japan time, it was reported that Dodgers pitcher Edwin Díaz has been placed on the injured list, IL. Some media outlets are suggesting that Roki Sasaki should be used as the closer in place of Díaz. I can understand that sentiment. Anyone who saw Sasaki's pitching in last year's postseason would likely think so. However, Sasaki's relief appearances in last year's postseason were part of a development policy designed to give him experience and increase his reps on the big stage. Simply put, Roki Sasaki lacks MLB experience. The Dodgers' development plan for him is focused on getting him as much game experience as possible. Last season, he spent time in the minors focusing on increasing his velocity. And during the postseason, he regained his speed and contributed to the team's victory. This season, in order to translate those postseason performances into a starter's role, he is currently in the rotation and taking the mound as a starting pitcher. With every start, Sasaki is becoming better at unleashing the power he possesses. At this very moment, the Dodgers will not have Roki Sasaki fill Díaz's role simply because Díaz is on the IL. As I explained earlier, once Snell returns, Sasaki will likely leave the starting rotation for a time. At that point, he might take on a middle relief or closing role. However, at this stage, the Dodgers' development plan for Roki Sasaki remains unchanged. According to reports, when asked by the media if there was any thought of using Roki Sasaki as the closer due to Díaz's injury, Dodgers GM Brandon Gomes clearly answered no. Even with Díaz on the IL, the development policy will not change. The plan is to continue using Roki Sasaki in the starting rotation. Once Snell returns and there is no longer a spot in the rotation, Sasaki might temporarily move to the bullpen. Until then, I completely agree with the Dodgers' policy of having Roki Sasaki gain experience in the rotation, learning from each start and refining his skills. I believe this is the correct way to nurture him. I will continue to support Roki Sasaki with everything I have until he becomes a truly great pitcher. Part 3, Shohei Ohtani extends on-base streak to 52 games. As I mentioned earlier, Shohei Ohtani's performance in the Rockies game resulted in 1 hit, 2 walks, and 1 stolen base. It was wonderful to see him steal a base for the first time in a while. It reminded me of his 50-50 achievement in the 2024 season. It was magnificent. Above all, I am delighted that his consecutive game on-base streak has been updated to 52. He hit a clean single to right field during his second plate appearance in the third inning. However, there is something that concerns me. Shohei Ohtani is still not in peak form. As I mentioned in yesterday's broadcast, he is clearly in a slump. Looking at his 2 doubles yesterday, the balls had heavy topspin. He is catching the ball with an upward swing that almost brushes the pitch, causing the ball to fly forward with forward rotation. Consequently, the ball does not gain the necessary lift, and hits that should be home runs are not materializing. Today's single to right field was far from a home run, though the contact itself was decent. However, watching his swinging strikeout in the 9th inning, I do not believe his condition has improved. I wondered why Ohtani is currently struggling. During the series at Coors Field against the Rockies, I believe the temperature fluctuations were extreme. In the cold, the human body feels heavy, and sometimes it becomes difficult to move exactly as intended. While Shohei Ohtani is from the cold region of Iwate Prefecture in Japan, he has been based in California ever since he moved to MLB. Therefore, his body has acclimated to the warm climate, and it's possible the temperature shifts at Coors Field affected him even slightly, leading to a performance that wasn't quite what he hoped for. Shohei Ohtani is a player capable of recording hits or even hitting home runs even when he is not at his best. Those who judge him solely by the final box score might not notice when he is struggling. However, currently, he is clearly in a slump. From the next game, the series and the venue will change, so we will likely see a shift in Ohtani's hitting. However, because of the ongoing on-base streak record, Ohtani is likely approaching each plate appearance with great care to keep the streak alive. If that is the case, I suspect we won't see the home runs we are all anticipating. While home runs can happen as an extension of a base hit, it is very difficult to intentionally aim for a hit. while also trying to produce a home run against MLB pitchers. To ensure the record continues, he is prioritizing getting on base. Therefore, I believe we will only see Ohtani's home runs after he successfully extends the streak as early as possible in a game. In this Rockies game, he recorded a hit in his second at-bat in the third inning to secure the record. So I expected a home run in his subsequent at-bats, but his overall condition was lackluster, and the home run did not come. I look forward to the streak continuing in the next game. In addition to that, I am eagerly anticipating a home run from Shohei Ohtani. Lately, there has been much talk about the home runs being hit by Ohtani's apprentice, Munetaka Murakami. This is a very good thing. It is excellent that Munetaka Murakami, the next Ohtani in terms of power hitting, is hitting home runs and generating excitement. Shohei Ohtani cannot afford to be outdone. With his apprentice hitting so many home runs and capturing the attention of fans worldwide, he will surely show his pride as a unicorn. When the conditions align, the unicorn will reclaim his true form. I hope to see Shohei Ohtani's bat catch fire starting from the next game. Also, while I won't go into detail today due to time constraints, there was a particular article reported by ESPN and covered in Japan by the Digest. Cubs manager Craig Counsell expressed dissatisfaction regarding the Ohtani rule. MLB regulations state that from opening day until August 31st, the maximum number of pitchers on the 26-man active roster is 13. However, because Ohtani is registered as a two-way player, he is not counted toward that 13-pitcher limit. Due to this Ohtani rule exception, the Dodgers are effectively able to operate with 14 pitchers. Regarding this, Counsell commented, "One team essentially gets to have both a pitcher and a position player. It's probably the most bizarre rule where someone is treated specifically. It looks like a rule for one team. My take on this is very simple. I would like to address this matter in the next broadcast. That is all for today. Thank you very much."